Have you ever found yourself at the end of the month having more month left than money? That's because you failed to budget properly. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to use a budget calendar to organize your finances. Let's get right into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. If you are returning, welcome back. Now, y'all know your girl live her life on a budget. Here is my budget notebook for the month of April, because April is financial literacy month. I thought that I would do a video every single day around finances. Now, it may be a long form video, it may be a short or two or whatever like that. However, it's gonna be a video every single day. So I thought today would be a very good day to show you how I use a budget calendar to organize my finances, because I know a lot of you have more month left than you have money. So let's go ahead and change that in the month of April, and let's get right into how I use this budget calendar to organize my finances. So the very first thing that I do is I take out a blank calendar, which I have this inside of my budget workbook. If you are interested in it, I will link it down below. The next thing I do is I want to know exactly when your girl is paid. We cannot budget anything if we don't got no money coming in. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and write out my paydays for the month. This allows me to see how many times am I paid this month, and it allows me to see how much income potentially I may have coming in. Now, because my priority is saving first, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my savings goals. So my savings refer to my investing, my retirement, and then my personal savings / emergency fund. And because I know that I want to save $6,500 at the end of the year in my emergency fund, and I'm paid 26 times a year, that's going to take out $250 out of each one of my paychecks. So I need to put that on the day that I actually get paid. I need to make sure that that is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and write that stuff down first, because that is very, very, very important to me. The next thing I do once I've taken care of all of my savings, investing, and my retirement, the next thing I focus on are the monthly bills. Now, you may say, okay, well, the bill has not, came out just yet or whatever like that. I like to budget my bills at the highest amount that bill has ever been. So go through year 2024 or the previous year, whenever you're watching this video, look at that bill. Let's just give an example of the light bill. So if you see that in the previous year, the highest amount that your light bill was $175. Let's go ahead and budget $175 every single month, just in case the bill is ever that high again. Now, when that bill is actually lower, guess what you do? You're able to save some money there. But guess what? If that bill is high, yes, you may be in the red, but because you are budgeting all of the other bills at the highest amount that bill has ever been as well, you may be able to pull money from that account, and it actually just balance itself out. And then moving forward, as you see that bill has gotten higher than what you was previously budgeting for, you can go ahead and make the necessary changes there. After I get finished budgeting out my monthly bills, then I go ahead and budget out the variable expenses. Now, variable expenses are expenses that do not have like a set due date on them, and they change on a month-to-month basis. So things like your gas, when you go to the gas station, it may be a different amount every time you fill up your car. When you go on grocery shopping, that may be a different amount every time you spend groceries or whatever like that. But allowing yourself a budget for those things and seeing exactly how much you spend every single month, how many times you go to the gas station, or how many times you go to the grocery store every single month, will allow you to set a realistic budget at the end of the month. So for me, I know on Sundays I tend to reset for the week, and I do that, and I go and fill up my gas. I go fill up my car and get gas. I, look at my budget and see how much money I spent, things like that. So anything that's gonna require me to spend some money, I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. Now, say for instance, sometimes I don't get a chance to go to the gas station on Sunday. Sometimes I have enough gas in the car where I'm able to make it to my next off day or whatever, and I can fill it up on Wednesday or whatever. Sometimes I would do that. Not all the time do I go to the gas station on Sundays, but in my mind, I'm gonna set aside whatever the highest amount that my gas has ever been. Every time I fill it up, I'm gonna set that amount aside every single week, so that way I am prepared just in case it's time to go and get gas. So that will be the next thing to do, is fill in your variable expenses fill in your variable expenses such as groceries, gas, out to eat, things like that. Now, after I get finished filling in my savings, my monthly bills, and my variable expenses, I like to focus on the things that I like to do. Your girl love her some sneakers. I have a whole lot of sneakers. I budget for my sneakers, and I do that by, at the beginning of the year, looking at the sneaker calendar and seeing exactly what shoes are going to be coming out. Sometimes they push the date up. Sometimes they push the dates back. Sometimes there are shoes that's not on there just yet and things like that. But for the most part, I can kind of like pick out the shoes that I actually want to budget for, and I can look at it in advance and budget accordingly. So I will go ahead and write down the sneakers, how much the sneakers are, when they are potentially supposed to come out, and I will put it on my calendar as well. So since this month, I know that spring break is happening for my son, and I know that I want to do something with him. I know that I may potentially be spending some more money on gas for one, and then more money, with my miscellaneous expenses. But it's not going to be miscellaneous expenses. It's just I don't have a category for spring break that's going to be considered like my fun money, or money for my son, things like that, because we're going to be doing stuff during that week. So you can put that type of stuff on here as well. And that's pretty much how I set up my budget calendar and get organized with my finances and kind of like plan ahead. I do this before the months even begin, so that way I'm able to look at this in advance. And if I need to cut some things out because I see that I'm only paid 2 times this month, and I'm adding everything up within my monthly budget and seeing that, oh, your girl do not have enough money to be putting $500 on spring break. Maybe I can take that down to $300 or something like that. So this budget calendar actually allows you to see and get organized, with whatever you plan on spending your money on, whatever you plan on doing that month. And I absolutely love it. Like I said before, if you are interested in my budget workbook, it has more sheets than just the budget calendar. It also have a monthly budget worksheet. It has payday budget worksheets. It has an expense tracker, and then it has a monthly review at the end of the month. I'm going to be going through each one of these sheets and actually showing you how I use each one of these sheets on next videos. But that's all for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.